morning, beautiful souls that are joining me here today. We are mid-October 2021, and we're going to keep moving on this theme of things are really moving. And the movie of Earth, the theater of Earth is coming to a climactic, kind of scary. Will we ever get there? There's so many plates spinning. It's so confusing where to put our beliefs. Feet are in both worlds, but knowing that this movie of the divine plan was planned in the big headquarters, the big the big overseers. So right now what we need more than anything is faith. And we were just discussing how a lot of us are watching these mini series, and that's a good example. You watch a mini series and you say, how bad can it get? And there's one on Netflix called Made, a mother trying to raise her child in our society. Everything goes wrong because everything is so complex and put into government hands, and it's out of old-fashioned community. And that just brought it so close to home for me that we must reach out for each other and be in community. We must be connected. And that's where the one I binge watched last night, I'm so tired today, Virgin River, I think it's called, placed in a Northern California town, both of these areas I've lived in. And they don't work with government at all. If someone has a baby out of wedlock and leaves it on the doctor's porch, they want to figure out who's the best person to have that baby without all of the rigmarole of government. The reason I'm saying this is that if you're a divine being on your path, it's okay to say government is failing. Our medical system is absolutely terribly failing. The social hammocks that would help people in need, failing. Everything is failing. And of course, if you've been with me, some of you have been with me for 15 years, and we knew that things that weren't built on truth and love had to fall apart. However, it's been a long, drawn-out test of our faith over and over again. Why? Because we're still the ground crew. We're still needing to have jobs within all this and to have relationships, and we still have all these woundings. So about a week ago, I gave a pretty good rant to different team members, some seen, some unseen. And I said, the ground crew needs some reviving. We need some oxygen. We need proof. We need proof. And I noticed that one of my, to me, she's the horse's mouth, one of the strongest teachers to help us understand the divine plan is Caroline Corey. And she gave a very straight, no-nonsense talk about where we are right now as a species, how the divine plan's coming in, and how this timing has changed a little bit because not enough people have gotten on the bus and are holding their light. So she gives a long talk. This is all on the Facebook SOAR page, which of course you're all members. If you're not, email me later. But about where we're at and about the very simple choice. It's always one thought away, one breath away of merging with Source to be the light. And she talked about how, and I often say in our meditations, don't just do it Wednesday morning at 9 where we all go to the light and feel great. We need to fuse this. You know how sometimes you take two fabrics? Okay, two fabrics of reality, the divine, the earth. I've sewn for years. Take two fabrics and you have to fuse them now so that they're seamless and weave together, so you're not being pulled and having divine thoughts of how I should do things and be, and then fighting with, well, this is who I am on the earth plane. So I'm going to give you a couple of really good examples of that. And this morning I was making my smoothie and I said, why am I thinking about that? Spirit said, because you're going to give it as an example. My old way, the old Jan, third dimensional, I'm driving my car. I got a huge big rock chip And it started moving, and I'm like, "Oh, no, not again." I said, "But there's that great place in Olympia. They do it free because you tell them you're gonna come back and get the whole thing replaced if the whole thing breaks." So I called the woman and talked to her, and I said, "Well, it's still free." She says, "Well, actually, it's $50 now, and we're the cheapest person in the game." So the old Jan said, "Oh, well, I chose you because you were free." And I immediately had a feeling within myself of, how dare you to deny these people their right livelihood, especially during the pandemic. People aren't driving as much, they're not getting nicks. But she was so kind. She said, "Okay, I'll put it on the top of the top of your paper that you're free." And I suddenly felt she's probably the wife of the man who runs it. There's probably children to feed. There's probably bills to pay. And here I am for $50 to save me a big windshield. Plus, they gave it free to me before. I said, "Jan, you are the problem." So I went and I got beautiful pumpkin spice donuts. And I went there and I set them on the counter. And I'm talking to the guy and stuff. I said, "By the way, those donuts are for you." His eyes just lit up. So when I came back to get my car, and it was so perfect, and he looked at me and said, "Well, you're free." And this man did not look happy. He looked sad. And I saw the pictures of his 30th birthday party on his counter. And again, I'm thinking his family. And I said, "I want to pay you. It was so worth it to me." So we run my card. And now when I'm in my car and I see that ding, it was the new Jan, the one who did the right thing, and the one who every time says, "I am putting both feet in that world of doing what is right and good." Because if we're just looking out for ourselves, guess what? You just might not make it through the door to the new paradigm, because the new paradigm is about caring for other people as you care for yourself. Unconditional love for all. So let's take a deep breath through our nose and out through our mouth as we begin to move towards the meditation, and also knowing that as things are accelerating, taking care of ourselves and our nervous system for these changes that I mentioned last week that are going to happen in a little more abrupt nature. The divine plan, almost like in the Wizard of Oz, we're in the house going up, and that we're going to land in the divine plan, whether you're ready or not. So keep your vibration high. Do good things you can feel good about, like the little rock chip. Anchor in doing what is good and right and feeling good about it. But also get your rest and protect your nervous system. Yesterday I was taking a bath, trying to rest, and suddenly my sisters, I had my phone there because I needed to have a communication with someone. My sisters started texting. With each text was a huge beep, beep, and I'm falling asleep in the bath, and every time, but I was too tired to even remember to turn the sound down. So this is it. The world is going to keep rattling, poking, and beeping. So if we keep our energy in a rested place of a high vibration, we'll be able to do the correct things to mitigate these interferences. So that's just another little example this morning. I'm sure you have plenty too. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that my phone is turned off, because we're going to drop in now. Let's take a nice deep breath through our nose and out through our mouth. It is time. It is time to take all of this being the light and preparing for the new paradigm of which we are leaders. No pressure there, of course. To be this light and to hold it so that our own road isn't so rocky, but also that others, our beloveds, and those that look to us for light, can entrain with us and breathe, and we can make it across the threshold together in a peaceful way. As I played the frequencies, I imagined that this is how we go up the ladder of notes until we hit the lighthouse. And the lighthouse is right here in our pineal gland. And when we hit the right notes in our life, the high notes, the high vibration, something lights up and we become a lighthouse. Take a nice deep breath and ask yourself, am I ready to become the lighthouse that I truly am? Because as the waters get choppy and even go into storms, and you are seeing so many other people struggling, it's not for you to go out in your boat and individually rescue people anymore. It is for you to be this light and to beam out the way home so that people can see by the light that you are radiating. Our lives are so synchronized right now. If we just open our eyes to the magic. While I was having my car repaired, I walked across to an antique collective called the Lighthouse. And there is a 5-foot tall, huge lighthouse. And I said, I'd love to buy that lighthouse because truly that is what we are doing here today on the Be the Light meditation. So acknowledge that your role is not to be out in that boat being whipped around in the storms. Just like Andrea said, you're observing the storm and the rain. And Jessica said, the rain, the energy of this storm is so blessed. And those of us that have been waiting for the divine plan to be implemented, we are welcoming the storm of release and in unveiling of all untruth and all fear-based things. It is like the rain of truth is here that we have brought by being the lighthouse to shine on non-truths. We don't always do it with our third dimensional voices. Sometimes we just hold this light. This meditation that we do gives you that light, the light that sustains you, but also ignites and inspires all others in your life as they entrain with your light. Even if they don't know it consciously, they're near you and they're like, oh, I can see my way better because this being holds light. And they will defer to you. They will allow you to be their leader on an unconscious level. And this is how we are up-leveling and changing all the particles of reality simply by you holding and being your light, which feels so wonderful too. Did we already say those magic words? We ask and intend to set a sacred space. We place our energy fields in a beautiful geometric structure. We remove the whole world. We remove everyone else's energy. And in this moment, it's just us. It's just us remembering the whole timeline, the whole trajectory, and your absolute role to be this lighthouse. I know some of you are artists and visionaries, So imagine that this lighthouse image is being embossed into your cellular structure. Decorate your lighthouse. What color is it? I like to think of one with jewels. I've been working a lot with jewels this week, embellishing things. So perhaps you're a multifaceting, prismatic lighthouse that catches the frequencies, the words, and the messages from Source and the angelic realms and beams it down. So, whatever helps you to imagine and envision that you are the embodiment of a lighthouse, let it begin to gel in your creative mind now. It gets even better because you're a lighthouse that can see. You have eyes to see. You can look and see who's suffering, who's going under, and beam light. You can't do it for them. You can beam light. It gets even better. You have a mouth to say, I see that you're suffering. This worked for me. May I share of what worked for me when I experienced that? Your voice can be the balm, BALM, of just simple presence. I hear you. I feel you. I totally get what you're going through. Boom, they lift up. They're connected. They're entrained with you. It is physics that lower vibrations always go to the higher vibrations. Hey, that's the whole underpinning of the divine plan. We get enough people lit up, other people entrained with them, and all those that chose to be near a lighthouse will be going and co-creating something new. Those that don't have ears to hear your message or eyes to see your work, they will have other choices and other realms to reside in. Your message is not for everyone. This is based on soul contracts and you shining your light so that they can see the resonance in their soul says, oh my God, yes, I need to take a class with her. Oh my God, yes, I need to connect with her. That's how the divine plan is working. And my job as a cheerleader to keep giving you creative visualizations and the feeling of your divinity and the remembrance of your role as a light being. And today's thought is a lighthouse, which is so perfect because things seem to be getting darker and stormier. So lighthouses are stable, aren't they? They're absolutely stable. So feel even the shape of it is very, very stable. The lighthouse has places inside, lots of space inside for probably warmth and protection for the beings in there. So know that the lighthouse is sustained. You have everything you need to beam your light. So if you are feeling low on energy or inspiration, think of this lighthouse that usually has a beautiful warmth feature. Go ahead, put a beautiful stone hearth in your lighthouse. Make a beautiful little kitchenette. Make a beautiful little sofa, overstuffed sofa, easy chair to put your feet up. And now make a door, a little beautiful hobbit door to welcome in other people who are holding the light. And give yourself a wondrous computer so you can press on and you can Zoom and talk to other beings holding the light. Or you can have a group of people who are wanting to hold the light and want to remember, and you press on and you beam your light. So within this particularly challenging time, we're okay. We are going to ride out this storm. We're storm riders. We're pattern breakers. We're lighthouses. Okay. So we call in, they're already here, the other divine beings who are overseeing our role in the divine plan, because you are the ground team of lighthouses. So take a nice deep breath, and as they are acknowledging and recognizing how you have been steadfast and you keep showing up to beam that light. And I'm sure you thought, does anybody see this light? Does anybody need what I have to teach? Actually, I sat here at 9 o'clock today, very quietly, just checking my hair because nobody came to this meditation. And I said, well, Jan, are you still going to be the light if nobody comes to listen? Of course. So I was just getting ready to press record when a whole bunch of people came in. So that's how Spirit shows me examples of just be the light anyway. Be the light. People might be busy. They're moving slower. It's raining. Always choose being the light will keep your vibration high. So you can make the right choices. You can maintain your energy field. So let's take a deep breath and just simply go into your heart, because this is where you're going to drop that blueprint and make this final, profoundly powerful lighthouse within your infrastructure. Your heart knows that you have a vibrational signature. It actually has a structure, a geometric structure. We ask and intend that we bring this picture of ourselves, if we so choose, as a lighthouse into the infinitely intimate intracellular atomic level of creation within ourselves. That we let this feeling, feel it in your heart, not just a picture or idea, feel it in your heart. I am a lighthouse. I keep the light on for myself, and I keep the light on for a world that is continuously darkening. I reassure myself by tending to my lighthouse. I beam my light out to those who turn their attention towards me. I beam my light out when no one is listening, because someone may turn and catch and focus on my resonance and be healed and opened by the light that they are seeking. Do you see, all of these activities have nothing to do with the 3D business, has nothing to do with, am I doing it? Am I successful? It's just being the light. It's just being it. It's just it's not even doing, it's being it. It's being the lighthouse that you are, and joyfully just beaming that light out. And knowing what keeps your beam high is what? Communing with and doing things that you love. This whole last week, I've taken herbs and dried them in my garden and made crazy little, this specific Northwest fusion with the bird and shells. And I'm just focusing on things where I go in the zone of replenishment, the zone where I forget time, where I forget the world, and I refill. So as your heart is beginning to hold these new foundational underpinnings of, okay, I'm a lighthouse, but sometimes I need refurbishment. I need to bring new energies into the lighthouse. Think about what you love to do. And this week, every day, do one thing that you absolutely love to do. And I know you can do that because there's 24 hours in every day. And this will keep the beam, you know how batteries get low and it gets weaker, weaker, and then finally fizzles out? I know some of us, that happens sometimes. But by keeping yourself, why joyful, wonderful things? They raise your vibration. You feel good, and you just revive yourself. I've never forgotten my dear friend Jill Lublin said, Jan, these are the words: restoration, rejuvenation, regeneration. And honestly, I'll add to that. At this point, it's redemption out of our role as humans living in an old, tired movie. So these are some ideas and tools. And let's continue to drop into our heart. And as I play the gong, you are consciously allowing the frequencies to come in and to even strengthen this new structure within your body as you embody this. Take a nice deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth, and let those frequencies just have their way with your heart in this creation of this lighthouse. And notice that I went through the notes. I went from the octave, where it almost feels finished, but I went to 2 more notes. And those of you that are musicians, you'll know what I mean. Bum, 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 bum. Almost feels finished, like I've done enough. No, I played 2 more gongs. Why? Because when your lighthouse is all lit up, then you add the intention of those 2 last notes, a little bit more willpower, a little bit more choice, a little bit more of, I am the light. I will hold this light. I will shine it out. I'll go the extra 2 notes. Spirit, show me how to be the light that the world needs now. Show me how to be the light that this person needs now, that this project needs now. Help me go the extra 2 notes and release my egoic mind of what is in it for me, or how things have done before, and how I can say or be or just even beam the light, that it completely dissolves people's resistance to the co-creation that we need to make together to get on with the divine plan. Let me be an instrument of thy reorganization of the earth experience. Let me be those 2 extra notes. Let's do it one more time. I rang the bell because when you give it that extra, that A+, what do teachers do? They put a star, a golden star. I rang the bell because you got your wings. You're that sentinel being on top of a decaying world that is holding the ability for levity and light, and to be in a heavenly realm by this role of being the lighthouse. So take a nice deep breath through your nose and out through your mouth. And I see as we are holding this vibrational field, some of you, as your chakras are filling up, you actually are forming even a brighter frequency field around your crown chakra, and you are having an aura now, a golden aura. And this, of course, in the ancient depictions of saints, they simply went into this frequency field. The extra two tones, the extra two notes, and they became light. And those with eyes to see would paint them with their auras. So welcome to the club, the 732 frequency miles high club. This is the beginning stages of your own, we call it the Christed consciousness. The ability to hold this frequency is your ticket to slide without one hitch or bump into the next dimension experience for Earth and her people. So hold this feeling in your heart and integrate it. Hold this vibration. Let it percolate down through your legs. This is your physical body as well. This is not some experience out there. This is your body becoming and holding this light here now, a lighthouse. Fabulous. Good. I feel your breastbones. I feel your ribs expanding. I feel your chest filling. I feel the stabilization of all of this through simply using our creative imagination. We're guiding our thoughts into new realms and we're making it reality. And that's how you created your other reality, your 3D reality. We're just taking our life by the steering wheel. We are the masters or mastresses, the holders of the rudder of our life experience. And we are choosing to be the light, to be lighthouses. So take a nice deep breath, and this energy will continue to integrate. And what might be nice to help you kind of ground it is when we finish this meditation, and we talk a little bit after I turn off the recording, but maybe even draw your lighthouse or paint it or create an ability to have it there so that if you're going through your day or there's a TV and you're like, oh my God, what was I, a lighthouse? There's that painting. There's that remembrance, and it'll hold the frequency. It'll hold the gong energy. It'll hold this whole experience. Boom. There you go. And you just add those two little extra notes of using your will power to realign and to be present for service with your light. So one last deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. And we are finished with the meditation experiential talk part. So make a beautiful golden resilient egg around your entire energy field to hold all of this in. And relax into this. And just be it. Just be that light. Okay. So for those of you that are new, we do this every Wednesday morning. It's always free for the community. And it's called Be the Light Meditation, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm Jan Jorgensen. And the website information to access this call is soundandlighthealingarts.com.